Hello and welcome to today's discussion. I'm Sonia.
And I'm Simon. We're here to explore the latest news stories making headlines around the world.
Let's start with Samsung's recent decision to cut jobs in the U.S. as it relocates its headquarters to Texas. The reporting indicates that 739 roles are affected, primarily in New Jersey.
That's a significant move. Can you walk us through what we know about these layoffs and the reasons behind them?
According to the articles, Samsung Electronics America is cutting 739 jobs in New Jersey as part of its plan to relocate its U.S. consumer electronics headquarters to Texas. The company has offered relocation opportunities to many affected employees.
So the layoffs are largely due to the headquarters relocation. Are there any other factors at play here, like business performance or strategic shifts?
The reporting suggests that Samsung is undergoing a broader business shift, particularly with its focus on AI-driven chip growth. This contrasts with challenges in its mobile division. The AI business shift seems to be a key driver behind the restructuring.
That makes sense. The tech industry is constantly evolving, and companies like Samsung need to adapt. Speaking of significant developments in the tech space, what's the latest with Apple and NVIDIA?
Actually, the next story we're covering is about Apple surpassing NVIDIA to become the world's most valuable company. Apple's valuation reached $4.88 trillion, while NVIDIA was at $4.86 trillion.
That's a fascinating shift. What does this change in the pecking order tell us about investor sentiment and the AI landscape?
The reporting indicates that investors are broadening their focus beyond the most obvious beneficiaries of the AI boom, like NVIDIA. Apple, despite not developing its own large language models, has been rewarded for its cautious approach and strong iPhone sales.
So Apple's resurgence to the top spot suggests that investors are looking beyond just AI chip makers to companies that are integrating AI into their broader product ecosystems.
Exactly. And it's interesting to note that Alphabet, Google's parent company, trails behind with a $4.2 trillion market cap.
That's a significant gap. Moving on to another story, there's been some significant news out of China regarding a former executive of China Development Bank.
Yes, the former president of China Development Bank, Ouyang Weimin, is under investigation for serious violations of party discipline and the law, according to China's top anti-graft watchdog.
Corruption probes are not uncommon in China, but they often signal broader campaigns. Do we know what specific violations Ouyang Weimin is accused of?
The articles don't provide detailed information on the specific allegations. However, it's worth noting that such investigations are typically conducted by the Central Commission for Discipline Investigation.
Right, and these investigations can have significant implications for the individuals involved and the broader financial sector in China.
Absolutely. Let's move on to another story that's caught our attention concerning labor rights in Singapore. Singapore is set to increase the minimum annual leave entitlement for outsourced progressive wage model workers from 7 days to 10 days starting in 2029.
That's an interesting development. Can you tell us more about the progressive wage model and who it affects?
The PWM sectors include cleaning, landscape, lift and escalator, security, and waste management. About 60% of outsourced workers in these sectors are expected to benefit from the increased annual leave.
So this change is aimed at improving working conditions for outsourced workers. How does this fit into Singapore's broader labor policies?
The Ministry of Manpower's announcement suggests that this is part of ongoing efforts to enhance worker welfare. The Employment Act already entitles employees to a certain amount of annual leave, and this move extends those benefits to outsourced workers.
That's a positive step. Finally, let's touch on a story about Moonshot AI and its plans for a Hong Kong IPO.
Yes, Moonshot AI is preparing for a Hong Kong IPO within 6 months, seeking a $30 billion valuation following the debut of its Kimi K3 model.
That's quite ambitious. What do we know about Moonshot AI's Kimi 3 model and its impact?
The Kimi K3 model has reportedly made significant waves, even affecting chipmakers' market caps and dragging Bitcoin below $63,000. It suggests that Moonshot AI is making substantial strides in the AI space.
And this development has implications for the broader AI landscape, particularly in how Chinese companies are innovating and competing with their U.S. counterparts.
Exactly. The success of Moonshot AI's Kimi K3 model is being closely watched, and it will be interesting to see how this affects the global AI race.
Well, that's all for today's discussion. Thank you for joining us, Simon.
Thank you, Simon. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.